Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Herve, and every other day here I try to bring you cryptocurrency in the easiest way possible on the internet. If that's the type of content you find interesting, be sure to click that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you don't get to miss out on any other value-packed video like this one. So today we're just going to do a quick revision of where we are in the market and try to forecast where we are possibly going with Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market. So to do that, we just zoom out to the weekly time frame and have a glimpse of where we actually are. So I always talk about this principle of markets moving in threes, yeah? So we'd have a first move to the upside, second move, and a third move. Now here, after the second move, we had the consolidation to the downside. The issue with this particular consolidation is proving why we stopped here. When we prove why we stopped here, then we can forecast why we should be going up. This is a very important lesson because you'd see a lot of people online talking about us going to 20, 40, 30K. And in some ways, I'd say it's guesswork because they have not proved why this stopped here happened in the first place. To suggest that we're going to go higher, we have to prove why we stopped here in the first place. And to suggest that we're going to go to the downside, we have to prove why we stopped up here in the first place. That's basically my own philosophy in charting. So to prove this particular level right here, if we use our Fibonacci, we can take from here to here, and that will give us somewhere around 45K. Now 45K, which is the 2.618 right there, is supposed to be the ideal bottom. Yeah, that's the 45K that you see right there in yellow. It's supposed to be the ideal bottom. Now, if we do that correctly, if we are super careful about the analysis, it will give you somewhere around 45.3 to 43.5. But we don't want to waste time. We've already made another video talking about how to get these levels. So the reason why we did not come as low as the 45K zone right here, which is the 2.618, is because that same zone was already met by USDT dominance. BTC does not really trade against the dollar. It trades against USDT, the stable coin, which is basically the crypto form of the dollar. This actually means that the dollar can be going up, but because of so much interest in crypto, Bitcoin could also be going up at the same time. So when we want to look or know if the markets are going to go up or down, we don't really look at the dollar, we are looking at USDT dominance. So let's just switch quickly to USDT dominance and see why BTC did not go as low as that 45K at note that we are looking for the 2.618 on USDT dominance. Yeah, so let's go to USDT dominance right here. Okay, so USDT dominance, if we just invert the chart, it should be like Bitcoin's chart. USDT dominance is quite, not literally, but it's like the opposite of Bitcoin's chart. So when USDT dominance goes up, it actually means that Bitcoin is being sold for the stablecoin USDT. When USDT dominance goes down, it actually means in simple English that USDT, the stablecoin, is being used at the moment to buy Bitcoin. That's what this actually represents. So this means that when we see this thing going up like so, we are supposed to be seeing Bitcoin going down. Yeah. And when we see this thing going down like so, we are supposed to be seeing Bitcoin going up. It must not be 1-to-1. So when this thing goes up by 1%, it doesn't really mean that BTC will be going down by 1%. BTC could be going down by say 2, 3, 4, 5% because there are other stable coins. But this is just the most reliable because it has the most volume. When this thing is going down by say 2%, it doesn't really mean that BTC will be going up by only 2%. It could be that BTC goes up by 5% because there are other stable coins like USDC and some others. However, it generally is that in an uptrend of USDT dominance, BTC should be in a downtrend, regardless of the percentage difference. In a downtrend, BTC should be in an uptrend, regardless of the percentage difference. So if we switch this chart, because this is the correct chart, yeah? If we switch it now, if we like invert the chart, it should look like Bitcoin's chart. If we invert it like so, this now begins to look like Bitcoin's chart, yes? So to catch this particular level right here, this is like the drop that BTC did, yeah, and did not go to 45K. But if we use the same analysis that we used for BTC, you will see that the 2.618 right there has been met. So this particular 2.618 right here, which is where you see 45K on BTC. Let's just quickly go back there so that you see it for yourself. All right, so that particular 2.618 is the same like this one. So it's the same analysis. Yeah, we are trying to prove why it did not go here, because it ended here. But on USDT dominance, the same 2.618 that did not happen, or say did not get met on BTC, got met for USDT dominance. This one right here. It was on the inverted chart, so you can see it right here. Yeah, so now you see why we stopped here. Yes, after the 2.618, what's our next target? If you've been following on my Fibonacci videos, you'd know the 0.236. This one right here, but we are not looking at that for now. So this actually tells us that the downtrend is mostly over. This tells us that it could go lower. Yeah, we don't know. I mean, anything can happen, but we don't have any analysis to suggest that it's going to go even lower. What does that mean then? If the uptrend is over, what then does that mean for BTC or for USDT dominance? If the uptrend is over, there's only one other side. The downtrend will start. And this is the downtrend that started right here. So if there is a downtrend on USDT dominance, it only means that BTC now will be in an uptrend. Yes? Regardless of where you thought that it's going to go. Regardless. Because this thing cannot go down without BTC going up, because it quite literally means that by going down, USDT, the stable coin as we mentioned earlier, will be sold into BTC. So it will be used to buy BTC. So we now understand why we stopped here, yes? Another way to have, say, some confluence in this analysis is to look at the daily time frame. So we're beginning to zoom in right now. So remember, this is, we have the first move to the upside, as we mentioned, first move to the upside, second move to the upside, and now we expect the third move to the upside. But we have to prove where the whole thing, the whole downtrend right here stops, so that we can now start to expect that third move to the upside. Hopefully everybody understands. So as we can see from here, this is the daily time frame. A confluence that I wanted to tell you about is the three-wave move to the downside. We talked about three-wave moves to the upside, like 1, 2, 3. It works the same to the downside as well. Yeah, and this mostly works on the higher time frames. Daily time frame is perfect. It mostly works on the higher time frames. You could also use this on the 30-minute actually, but mostly it's the higher time frames that are better. So on the daily right here, you would see 3 moves to the downside too inside of this particular channel. You'd see that this right here was the first move to the downside. This becomes the second move to the downside, and this becomes the third move to the downside. If we were to go to 45K, it should have been in this particular move right here, not this one. I have an indicator for this actually. So it's swing lows and candles by Lux Algo. You can use this Lux Algo indicator to catch these. So Lux Algo's swing highs stroke lows, or say slash lows, and candle patterns. Type this on TradingView and you should get something that looks like this. Okay, so we have a higher high. So higher high is to this one. That's the new all-time high, yeah? So this higher high is higher than this one. After that higher high, we have a lower high to this one. I know I'm oversimplifying it, folks, and some of you would, not like it when I oversimplify, but a lot of people come to ask me some very easy stuff, and, my whole channel and platform is understanding crypto, so I just have to explain it this way. But I'll try to be fast about it so that you also don't get bored. So lower high here, and then we have a higher low. This higher low is a higher low to this one right here. Normally I'd even say it's to this one, but yeah, you get the point. So we have a higher low right there, and then here we go back to the upside, only to have a lower high to this one. And then that continues, lower high, lower low, lower low, lower high to this one. So that constitutes your downtrending channel. So higher highs and higher lows are in an ascending channel, and lower highs and lower lows are in a say descending channel. Now, since we could prove this particular low right here, yes, we've had the 1, 2, 3. Since we could prove this particular low right here, we therefore expect that the next move to the downside here should be a higher low. I actually sent you this particular one on Telegram the other time. If you're not on the Telegram, use the link in bio, or I will leave in the description of this video, or put it in a pinned comment or something. So we now have a higher low. This means that the whole trend is beginning to change. What then do we need to see to suggest that the whole trend is actually changing? Well, we need to go higher than this particular lower high right here, which is what happened to this happened with this move right here. So this actually proves to us that the whole trend, or say the whole downtrend right here, has changed into a new uptrend. So when we identify this, I have a guy in the Discord group, I think that's Jim something. All right, so he asked me how I got the targets to the upside, and this is how I got them. When you can identify this first move like so, you should therefore use your Fibonacci, and say you can therefore use your Fibonacci, and you can use both of them actually. You can use the regular Fibonacci retracement like so, and this should give you the targets to the upside. So you are taking from the top of the first move that corrects the entire uptrend, because this down here was just like the preamble, showing you that the trend is changing. But what then shows you that the trend has changed is this move that goes higher than this one. So that's where now you take your Fibonacci and try to project to the upside. So when you do that, you will now get the 1.618, which is where we had our first stop. I will switch to that chart very soon. In this particular zone where I had this line right here, this is where it was announced that Coinbase will be delisting USDT in Europe, and I made a video about it yesterday on TikTok. So you understand now why we stopped here, yes? Now, if you go back to say USDT, you will see that if we do the same analysis to get these particular levels right here, you will see, or say you would find that we did not reach its own to 1.618. That means that these levels are actually shorter, and the markets are most likely going to go way higher than these levels show us. So let's go now to USDT dominance, and we look at that. So the first stop right here on USDT dominance is the 1.618. So let's just take this like so. 1.618 should give us this first stop right here. So this is like similar to the same first stop that we saw on BTC. BTC met its first stop, which was the 1.618 at 73.2, and USDT dominance did not meet that first stop already. This means that whenever USDT dominance is going to be coming to this first stop right here, BTC would go even higher than its own first stop. I hope I make sense. I hope you understand what I mean by all of this. Because again, some people ask me questions sometimes and I'm like, I literally said that in the video. Anyway, so I hope you understand. This is the first stop for USDT dominance, and this is the ideal bottom actually. Ideal bottom. It's good in the sense that whenever USDT dominance comes to this level, say this level right here, that could be the top of the crypto market, like the bull market. It could be the top. And what's great about what we are seeing is that before it even comes here, BTC would surely go past 100k, except it sort of changes because, as I said, it's not one-to-one. Sometimes it goes down by 5% and BTC it's at 20% up, you know, and sometimes it would go down by 5% and BTC would only go up by 10%. So it's not we really cannot know. I tried to even like research by how much it actually differs, but it's not consistent. All right, so let's go back to BTC, to the chart right here on Bitstamp. So you understand now why it even stopped here. Yes, it stopped here because, well, that's the first stop, which we will see another sort of retracement on USDT dominance, but it does not mean that it has like topped out fully. Now that we understand where we are, let's now go to BTC USDT right here where I have my chart. So you see it's the same stuff, yeah? It's just that this is the chart I was working with. So let's now zoom into the 4-hourly time frame, or say the 2-hourly time frame. I like working on the 2-hourly time frame. Okay, so the 2-hourly time frame shows us something interesting. Let's take these out. Good. Now the 2-hourly time frame shows us something interesting. We can use the same strategy, yeah? And we get these levels to the downside from up to down, and we get these levels here. Now this shows us that BTC ideally, I'm not saying it's going to go there, I'm just saying ideally it should be coming down here to 67.9 and possibly 67.1 ideally. However, you might ask, why then did it stop here? Yeah, that's a good question if you had that in mind. Why then did it stop here? Can we prove this level? Fibonacci and this particular strategy is about proving the levels. If you want to take a trade, you must be able to prove why it stopped here and why it went back here before you can say assume that it's going to come back there or anything like that. You must be able to prove any move before you can judge where it's going to go. This is what you should do in your own chart. Always try to prove the moves, even this move, even this move, even this move. You must be able to prove it before judging where it's going to go. So why did it stop here? We cannot prove it. There's no level here to prove why it stopped here. So we now have to go back to USDT dominance and look at this exact same chart and use the same level. So pay attention to the 2.618 right there, the one in yellow. Yeah. So if we go back to USDT dominance on the same 2-hourly chart and invert it like so, which is supposed to be like Bitcoin's chart, you will see that when you invert it and perform the same analysis, USDT dominance reaches the 2.618. That's why it stopped here on Bitcoin. Even though you don't have a level on Bitcoin, you will see that USDT dominance went to the zone where Bitcoin should have been at this same time. But BTC didn't reach there, again because there are other stable coins, but because USDT dominance reached here already, Bitcoin may not go lower. Now if Bitcoin, or say if USDT dominance continues lower, then BTC will ultimately go to the 2.618, which is this one right here. Now ideally this is where I'd like to beat, like buy or go long, but it has not gone there yet, and we don't have conclusive evidence to suggest that it's going to go there, given that USDT dominance has gone there already. Another thing, and which could be a reason why it ideally should go there, is BTC on the CME. So if we look at the CME chart right here on the 30-minute time frame, and this is the 2-hourly, and even on the 2-hourly you see that as well. So the CME gap, we have a CME gap between 68 to 67.4. So between 68 to 57.4. So don't be surprised if this thing just goes down to these levels down here before going higher. Now, apart from these levels, I hope you now see that there's a CME gap, and this could be somewhat of a reason why it should go there. Although it's not definite, it could reverse from current price, but we are just showing the lowest levels that we can possibly see, right, or prove right now. So if we go back to BTC right here, if we go back to the zoom out to the daily time frame, we will see that with simple technical analysis, if you don't know how to properly draw these lines, just switch your chart to the line chart like so, and it should give you a better idea on how to, get these lines. So you'd see that we went out here, and this was the resistance right here, and we came back for support. Now we went back up and came back down like so. A simple Fibonacci technique would be to take from up to down. So from say from down to up right here, 0.5 would actually work as well, but 0.618 is great as well. So if we go back now to the candlestick charts, you will see that the 0.618 right there was the zone of support. Now I'm not saying it must go back up, but we have seen already what happened to USDT dominance. At least for now, we don't have any evidence to suggest that we are just going to crash. In fact, I'm still just waiting that we continue our monstrous rally, because we are now in November. And these are some of the most bullish months in crypto. October, November, December is not so great, but it's okay. And then we go back now to January, February, March. These will be surely, anyway, we hope, will be the most bullish months. Another reason why I'm actually happy that we dumped is because we are getting very close to the elections, and that's supposed to be on Tuesday, and the US presidential elections. And if we rallied into the elections, it would not be so great, because I think one of the reasons why we are going up is because market participants are like expecting that Trump should win. So if he loses, then that now becomes bad for the markets. What is the absolute lowest that I can possibly see BTC go? For now, I am looking at the 2.618 as we mentioned, which coincides with the CME gap we showed before. But if things are going to go very wrong, what could be the lowest at C? That would be the 0.786. Why the 0.786, you might ask? Because when we have this first move right here, so this first move right here, that corrects the downtrend as we showed earlier. I hope you remember this first move, when we take from the height of that move to the low, and we have these waves to the upside, we then now are in what I like to call the VFib system. So how does that work? Impulse to 1.618, which is this impulse right here, and then retracement to 0.786, and then after that retracement, impulse to 2.618. So this right here is the lowest I'd actually be seeing for BTC. That's assuming that it's really going to crash terribly. Yeah, this now would be the lowest at C. Without that, then I'd say we could just consolidate here and go back to the upside like so. Hopefully you understand, folks. I know it was kind of a longer video than I expected to make, but I hope you understand where we are in the markets right now. I was kind of away, actually. You know, I had some things to deal with, and but yeah, I am back now. I hope you've been fine and well, and I will see you in the next one. But until then, stay safe.